Good morning. What a beautiful morning it is. This is Yolanda Hinton, host of FYI Morning Show Live. I tell you what, we want to take the time to thank you all for joining us, and we want to welcome our platforms Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I am Yolanda Hinton again, and we're going to be joined by co-host Edward Everett in a few minutes. In the meantime, you all just sit back. We got a great show for you all. We are talking about money, cryptocurrency, and more. We have a fabulous guest who's been on not just once, but many times with us. Our special guest is Jason L. Baker. He's going to talk about the impact of global affairs on the cryptocurrency market. Now, I know you all probably saying, well, we don't know a whole bunch. I tell you what he knows, he's going to share with us. And we are grateful because we're hearing this topic around the world. And we're going to be talking about a little bit about it. If you all have any questions, make sure you put it in the chat. And let's discuss this thing called cryptocurrency and how it is affecting us. I want to also welcome our sponsors. One, Beard Gods. Make sure you all check out beardgods.com, beardgodz.com. Great products. Owner is Mr. Chris Hinton. And you can go to the website, www.beardgods.com. and see all the great products, information as well for you. Also, don't forget to go to Bulvic, B-U-L-V-I-C, Bulvic Academy, another sponsor. A lot of anti-bullying information. You have a blog there. You have information for parents, for schools, products. You have the books. Bullying is right underneath your nose, a diary of a former bully, and also the game Bulvic, B-U-L-V-I-C. Go to the website, www.bulvicacademy.com, or you can go to iTunes, put in the word Bulvic, B-U-L-V-I-C, or you can go to also Google Play. The game is there as well. Great information. We're having an upcoming curriculum that's going to be great for your kids. We'll get that information to you all soon, but don't forget to visit our sponsors. We're going to also say thank you first for those that have newly followed us. I know TikTok, the numbers are going up. Thank you. We also encourage you to go to the newest platform over there on YouTube at Crystal Records One. That's one of the platforms on YouTube, but the newest one is at FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. Please check it out. Follow us, subscribe, and subscribe to all our channels. If you follow us, we promise we will follow you back, okay? So thank you again. You all, when I mention following us, you all go and you click those little features, and you all are helping us to get the numbers. If you all are on other platforms beside TikTok, you can come over to TikTok when you want to or get a chance, or when we're on, and follow us on Y Hinton. That's YHINTON. Those that are not over here, get a chance, come over here and follow us. We will appreciate you. We want to just say thank you, all you all that are on, the names and things. I would shout you out, but the names are going so fast on our TikTok platform, but we're going to take the time later on and shout you out and give you a love for being a part of what we do. In the meantime, this is Hump Day. This is FYI Wednesday segment, What's Under the Hat? It's usually men's issues, but I tell you what, again, we have a fabulous guest. Our special guest is Jason L. Baker. He's going to talk about the impact of global affairs on the cryptocurrency market. I want to say good morning to you, Jason.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me back once again.
You know, when I say Jason, sometimes I want to say Dr. Baker. You know, because you have done so much. Jason, tell our audience a little bit about your journey, some of the things you've done and accomplished.
Well, it kind of makes me a little bashful to even talk about it, but yeah, I've done a few things in life. Most notably, I've served 25 years in the United States Army. I'm a retired field grade Army officer. Um, 11 and a half years overseas, to include combat deployments. Um, and definitely, there's been some education across the way. I don't normally talk about it, but I do appreciate the educational journeys that I've had in academia as well as in credentialing through various certifications. Those have helped me beyond the military when I began a coaching practice, as well as when I delved into multifamily real estate doing underwriting for different individuals who were looking to acquire multifamily venues. So, where I am now in this journey is looking at the future of global finance, um, and focusing not just on crypto, but also the futures market. But today we're here to talk about crypto, and I'll just pause right there.
All right. Look, I know you don't want to toot your own horn, but you have done a lot of things, have accomplished many. We're proud of you. And we want to thank you again for coming on to give information from your perspective and the things that you've researched for our audience. We have been announcing you for quite a while that you would be back with us. And thank you so much for being on with us. You know, so many questions, Jason, about cryptocurrency and everything. Can you first start off by telling us what is cryptocurrency?
Well, before we do that, I want to address the elephant in the room, and that is what is really affecting the everyday American, as well as individuals across the globe. We're in and it depends on where you are in life,
Uh-huh.
an unprecedented situation economically when it comes to affordability, from anything from our ability to put a roof over our head, to putting gas in the vehicle, to being able to put food on the table. And so, as we talk about crypto, I talk about it through the somber lens of how global finance is being affected, uh, uh, essentially on a day-to-day basis. And it's even getting to a point where it's moment by moment, because at any given moment throughout the day, depending on what news outlet you look at, there's going to be a breaking news, and it seems like every 10 minutes there's breaking news. And
Yeah,
that breaking news at this point seems like it is causing a knee jerk reaction in the global financial ecosystem. And I'll pause right there.
absolutely. You note that in January 2025, Bitcoin, along with the entire crypto market, achieved a new all-time high. Bitcoin surged to over 100,000, and the crypto market at a large surge over $1 trillion to just over $3.5 trillion. You said it is believed that this surge was a part due to the presidency win in November 2024. That administration later went on to operationalize Digital Assets Working Group, which aims to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. That's deep. That's deep.
It is, and so just to kind of highlight what crypto is. Crypto is given everything that the current administration is trying to do. Crypto, the crypto ecosystem is poised to be a new means of global finance.
Ooh.
And I say the crypto ecosystem because it's more than just Bitcoin. It
Mhm.
is the way we transmit our funds across institutions and across the globe, and the blockchain, as well as various ledgers, have a lot to do with the transformation of how we go from global finance, transmitting remittance from a day to day to a blink of an eye within a split second. Also, when we talk about stable coins, stable coins is part of that ecosystem where you have a cryptocurrency or a crypto coin that is pegged to $1 algorithm or real world asset. And then you also have the cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and the altcoins such as Ethereum, others known as XRP. So I just want to just highlight what the administration is saying.
Mm-hmm.
United States, the crypto capital of the world. That means a couple of things, and this is just my unqualified opinion.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about making the United States crypto capital of the world, I'm looking at those crypto that are American based, the crypto that are right here. That even though Bitcoin is the, as they call the king of crypto and is what they call a crypto gold and a store of value, that will remain. Ethereum is at the top of the pecking order for altcoins, but that's not a American crypto company. And the same thing with Tether, which is and Binance, which are non-American as well. Tether being a stable coin, Binance being their crypto native token. However, when you peel further down, XRP, um, and Tron and other crypto that are American based, um, look at and what's it's going it is and it's going to be. Those are the assets that America is going to push in an America First agenda. And so the biggest thing is that Americans, I believe, should look at American based crypto and begin to understand the trajectory of those crypto because they are relatively, I will say, astronomically inexpensive in comparison to the current price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so, in order for America to be that crypto capital, America has to invest. In order for America to be the crypto capital of the world, there has to be global exposure. In order for there to be global exposure, the financial system has to eventually transition from its archaic and more bureaucratic way of doing business to a more innovative methodology, which is along the lines of where crypto is taking global finance.
Yes. Now you talk about, the crypto market is reacting to global affairs both in a positive and negative light.
Yes.
Can you explain?
Well, I'll talk about one of the first ways, and it is the biggest way. So you mentioned the digital asset working group that was established, and the SEC is currently leading with the crypto working group. Matter of fact, they just had a session close yesterday, and they're trying to develop means and methods to bring governance to the crypto ecosystem, to also bring institutional legitimacy to cryptocurrency. And I'll focus on the latter, legitimacy. Legitimacy enables financial institutions to be able to partake into the crypto ecosystem and not only be able to invest and broaden their own portfolios, but to also introduce certain crypto products to their clients, meaning us, the customers. Um, Something that institutions have done, they've introduced crypto exchange traded funds, or ETFs. So the ETF is a means by which uh, a bank can offer a package to a client, um, in various dynamics, through a 401k, through a
Mhm.
TSP, through another type of financial method, and to have those exposures to those clients where they otherwise wouldn't either know how to get involved in crypto, wouldn't know how to safeguard their crypto, or just need someone to manage the full totality of their portfolio, depending on who the individual is. It could be a very wealthy individual who just wants to add crypto to their portfolio to broaden it and to give it more stability as a hedge against inflation. Or it could be someone who's just uh, doesn't understand how to get started. They're Generation X and baby boomers,
Wow.
even the silent generation who still are around, who uh, don't understand the technological nuances to be able to integrate into this new stratosphere of finance. And
Wow.
so through the ETF, the average American gains exposure through their financial institution, and as more individuals become more sensitized to crypto in this country, as well as in other countries where those governments are looking to provide governance and legitimacy, the next thing you know, you've got crypto becoming or starting to become a new norm in the way
Mhm.
we do
Yes.
global finance.
Why is there a need for crypto? What was the drive behind the administration to make the United States the world's crypto capital? Why do we need cryptocurrency?
We need it for a myriad of reasons, some at the highest strategic level,
Mhm.
and some at the level of just everyday convenience.
Okay.
I'll address the bottom first.
Hmm.
I want you to imagine you being in a country that is not America, where America, I can look out the window and there's a bank, or there's a 7-Eleven, or there's a place where you can change uh, currency for a product or a commodity, or exchange uh, currency between yourself and another person. The ease of doing that in the first world nation, or second world nation as they classify it, is a lot more pronounced than someone who's in a what they would deem a third world nation, underdeveloped nation, or a nation with denied access. So I want you to imagine you're in a country with denied access, and they don't really have access to a bank because it's in the capital 175 miles away.
Hmm.
Well, you can't get there because the roads aren't accessible because the infrastructure isn't there, and you can't exchange anything because once you get there, the bank, you don't have an account with the bank. So what does crypto do? It enables you to have something called the phone, and you can beep boop 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 bop on your phone, and you can send money or receive money from whoever is across the way, wherever across the way may be. It could be in the capital of that country, is 175 miles away, or it could be somebody that's around the corner that you just can't get to because you're engaged in doing something. Crypto brings the ability to exchange finance amongst individuals, or between or through institutions to individuals, in short distance or far distance. It makes it accessible.
Wow.
And that's the simplicity of it.
Okay, yes. Jason, who's going to teach us about cryptocurrency? You mentioned the bank system and administration, government, laws, everything coming together. How will the American people, citizens, learn more about this system, this new cryptocurrency system?
Yes. So we live in an era in the United States where there's so much information around us till it's invisible.
Wow.
Every time we watch the news, somebody is speaking about some form of the crypto ecosystem, whether they're talking about stable coins, they're talking about Bitcoin, they're talking about crypto in general, or they're talking about something that people don't understand, tokenization. And additionally, when you take a look at the banks have been uh, experimenting, that's the best word that I can use,
Mhm.
with how to implement the blockchain and various crypto ledgers into their operating systems or their ERP systems. It's happening all around us as we speak. For those who are investors, you know about crypto.
Mhm.
For those of us who have portfolios of any kind, your financial advisor, if they haven't already, will begin to introduce the idea of investing in crypto. When it comes to the banks in the commercials, what you'll start to hear is they're making more of a leap into cryptocurrency, and the crypto platforms such as Coinbase and Kraken, they're trying to make a leap into the financial institution system of banking. And so when you have that, you have what you call a merger of interests and a
Mhm.
competition of interests amongst financial institutions. And who are they competing for? You, us, we, the American people. These things happen subtly in time, but then the next thing you know, it's everywhere.
Mhm.
One time, Bitcoin was a expose on, Inside Edition, where they were like, "There's this thing called Bitcoin," and if you
Yes.
happen to see that expose, you chuckled at it and you turned the channel. Now it's difficult to turn the channel, particularly on news, without hearing something at some point during the day about the crypto ecosystem or the crypto market.
We have a question. They want to know, will the cryptocurrency replace our current monetary system? Will it replace it?
There are thoughts. Well, I'm going to put it like this so that this gets played again. I don't look silly, so I'm going to choose my words as carefully as possible. Financial systems change all the time.
Okay.
And when it comes to the current financial system, it changed from where it was 100, 200 years ago to match the demand of the day. When the current administration came into office during their inauguration speech, the president mentioned that the old bureaucratic way of doing things is too slow. We need innovation and we need it now. Crypto ecosystems bring that innovation to dynamically and dramatically align the financial stratosphere to be able to achieve its aims of, instead of having a remittance done within days, it can be done within seconds. And when you change the financial system, for me to be able to send you money instead of in days, in seconds, imagine the efficiencies that that creates in global finance and the supply chain across the dynamic of goods and services that we need on a day-to-day basis.
How enthusiastic are Americans about this crypto, this new, well, fairly new system? Are they like, oh, what is this? Let's jump on it. How are they feeling about this, Jason?
So it depends on who you ask. Um, when we take a look at what happened 36 hours to the president taking office, he did something that exposed Americans to crypto. He launched his own coin.
Yes.
And so, whereas prior to him, only about 15% of Americans were exposed to crypto, after he did that, 28% of Americans weren't only exposed, but they started investing. So you've got a whole 70% of Americans that have not begun to explore the utilization or the investment in cryptocurrency. And tell me the second part of that question again.
I was just wondering how enthusiastic are Americans?
Yeah.
Are they still, when something comes in new,
Exactly.
they're
So,
just rah rah. But how?
so that depends on who you are.
Uh-huh.
If you're that 30%, I will dig deeper into that 30%.
Mm-hmm.
And within that 30%, I will say there are about 5%, and that's a swag of individuals who have been riding the crypto train since 2008 when Bitcoin was introduced. And so you've got what you call Bitcoin maxis,
Mm-hmm.
and now you've got what you call the XRP army. And so those individuals, and there are others that are very headstrong and enthusiastic about whatever token or coin that they're invested in. They're enthusiastic about the future of global finance and how crypto is going to dynamically change the way we do business. They're enthusiastic because they believe that the investment that they have, that soon as the rails and the switches turn, that those assets are going to explode in value, which means that it's going to make the trajectory of their financial lifestyle increase dynamically. So that's if you're in that 5%. The other part of that 30% are individuals who are speculating and trying to figure out what's going on.
Absolutely.
That 70% or so who either just heard about it and like, that's hogwash, or just don't really know enough to even be bothered with it. Those are the ones that are going to be sleeping and somebody's going to come in the room and throw cold water on them. They're going to okay? They're going to get the shock of their lives, because when it turns over and it becomes the new norm, they'll say this, just like anybody who wished they had invested in Bitcoin. I wish I had known, and if I had known, I wish I would have jumped on board. Right now, those 70%, it is hogwash because it's not a reality. You can't touch it.
Yes.
You can't feel it. But I will say this to those individuals. Imagine when we went from bartering gold to these piece of crinkly things called dollars and bills. Imagine the mindset of individuals who said, You want me to give up this piece of gold for this piece of paper? Are you out of your mind? You can't do anything with it. You can light on fire, you can ball it up, you can lose it. Okay? So when you compare transitioning from heavy metals to a piece of paper, just imagine going from a piece of paper
Yes.
to a digital asset. What we want, we always say we want change. We say that, but it's difficult to do that. It's difficult for us to lean into change, especially when it comes to our money.
Yes.
So that's what Americans have to do. They have to lean forward, anticipate, and be ready to jump on board with the transition of the new monetary system, which will be in the crypto ecosystem.
You think banks, the financial institution, will legitimize this crypto? You know, if the bank is doing it, people will say, okay, well, let me listen or look a little closer because, hey, that's what I'm dealing with anyway, the financial institutions, the banks, and things. Do you think that's what is going to bring uh, more awareness to folk, but also where they will drop some of the fears and they'll look a little bit closer to it?
So this is for individuals. It's already happening.
Tell the truth.
It's
Yep.
already happening. So the Genius Act dropped last July. One of the major holdups to this thing going full steam ahead is the policy, the Clarity Act, being signed into law. What has been happening between the Genius Act and where we are with the Clarity Act? Banks have looked at using crypto, someone's crypto portfolio, as a hedge for approving mortgages. There are individuals who are US dollar poor, but crypto rich. And they don't want to transition that crypto into US dollars because what happens? Somebody wants to come take that. And it starts with an I, it ends with an S. You can put the middle letter in there if you want.
Ooh.
So their thing is, I would rather it stay crypto, and you can use that as a hedge against this mortgage. Why do you think the mortgage companies would want your Bitcoin as a hedge to approve your mortgage? Because it's going to continue to increase in value. There's been car dealerships, for example, Lamborghini, Porsche. They've also accepted cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin, to pay for a vehicle. And what has happened? Oh, they've made out really well. Because when they started accepting Bitcoin, it was around $18,000 per coin. Well, Bitcoin reached all-time high over a year ago, back in January, at $123,000.
Yes.
Just imagine if you had, received, a hundred and something $1,000 of Bitcoin for a Lamborghini. That $127,000 is astronomically more a year later in 2026, 2025, and even in 2026. Not as high as January 2025, but still more than when it was bartered between 2019 and 2024.
Wow.
It's
Let's
happening right now.
absolutely. Let's talk about some of the unrest in our world and our nation, wars and things like that. The current administration says it strives for world peace, yet it has claimed to involve itself in almost 20 global conflicts and tensions in the Middle East, being most recent. Can you provide perspective on how these global tensions impact the crypto market?
Yes. So there's something that's happening with this current administration um, that has been subtle in previous administrations, and that is messaging. Messaging has been used, it has, I don't want to say the best word I can come out with, and I'm going to find a better word, has been weaponized to be able to, and I'll say instead of weaponized, even though I've said it, messaging has been used as a strategic methodology to influence the market. It has been used as a strategic methodology to influence the market. Here's an example. We have the circumstances going on in the Middle East. Our president may, and with what's happening with crude steadily going up as this continues to draw out. So what has our president been saying? He's been making announcements. Hey, the war be over by Friday.
Yeah.
And what happened when he said that? Oil prices went down. Friday came, oil prices started going back up. Was the president said, hey, we gave him a 15-point plan for a peace resolution. This was just a day or two ago. And what happened? Out of enthusiasm, oil prices started going down. The Dow jumped 500 points. And even though the Iranian regime has not acknowledged any peace talks, it was enough to be able to get the investors to say, well, I'm going to go with what this guy says because he's our guy. And we believe in our military might and our diplomacy and our ability to remain economically dominant in global affairs. So because of that, when you take a look at what's happening, strategic messaging is the key to being able to ensure that we get ever so closer to making the United States the crypto capital of the world. How in the world is that even happening?
Yes.
First things first, it comes through governance and policy. Well, that's happening behind the scenes, and that's happening undercover. The other thing is exposure. The more you talk about it, the more you hear it, the more it becomes a normal term, and you slowly begin to introduce it through those various mediums, such as the financial institutions and the crypto platforms. This is another thing I want to touch on is this. We keep talking about interest rates. That's one of the biggest things. And what did you hear over the last 5 or 6 months? We need to lower the interest rates. Why do they say that? Because when you lower the interest rates, what does it do when interest rates are lowered from your perspective? It makes you say, oh, it creates a sense of illusion that you've got more money somehow.
Yes.
And what do you do when you feel like you got more money?
Spend.
You have more money. And what do you think you're going to do if you hear about crypto and you feel like you got an extra $100? I think I'm gonna speculate into this crypto thing and see what's going on. Well, let's talk about global affairs in a perspective where it feels invasive. I just talked about policy happening. We just talked about interest rate. Just imagine where global affairs are at such a level where we start feeling concern for our families and our life because you don't know what country's going to do what at any given time. And on top of that, you've got the stagnation of policy that is starting to wane your interest in the forward advancement of crypto. Well, that right there says, I'm going to do other things until they catch up because the bureaucracy is too slow. What do you do when you start seeing gas prices creep up, food creep up, The Amazon package is taking a little longer than it normally does. Um, there is a little bit of congestion everywhere you go, whether it be the gas station and traffic. What is that? What happens when they say the interest rate is going up? You begin to hold your money a lot tighter. And so that's where we are right now.
Mhm.
That's the impact. And so that's why I gave that disclaimer up front saying I want to address the elephant in the room because things are a little bit iffy right now.
Yes,
And I don't want to come on here and talk enthusiastically about what somebody may consider a speculative commodity or asset because we're in a risk on society right now. Everybody's trying to hold on to that penny, that dollar, because we don't know what's happening next.
absolutely. Fear or innovation? How do people kind of process all this? When something is new. I remember when the microwave and the computer came out. You had so much fear that it was something that was out of this world, or just something that would come and harm. How do people deal with the fear? How can they get more comfortable about things changing and things going to another level?
So I'll say this: this is what a leader once told me when I was going out for a foreign award, uh, and I knew it was going to be exceptionally challenging. He said, actually, matter of fact, she said, "Be afraid to do it. Be more afraid not to.
Woo!
Be afraid to do it. Be more afraid not to." There's consequences to not moving forward when the wave is pushing you. In other words, you're resisting change. And when we resist change, one of two things happens: nothing, or we get overrun. Well, let's talk about nothing. If nothing happens, guess what? The rest of the world moved on, and you're still sitting there with what you got.
Yes.
If you're overwhelmed, what you had could be snatched from you or become so minimized that it doesn't even matter anymore. And so the thing is, when it comes to innovation, there is fear. So, and we're looking at the changeover of global finance, there's fear because it is the unknown. So, there's nothing wrong with being afraid, but be more afraid of not stepping into the future of global finance.
Wow. Let's talk about the projections. How analysts have. What kind of projections do they have regarding the near-term future of the crypto market? What is it going to look like? How, is it, like you said, has it progressed from 10 years ago? How are the numbers?
So, I'll talk just to talk about the numbers first. There is a projection that the crypto market will go higher. When and what waves we have to crash through to get there is an unknown. When we talked to analysts a year ago, they thought that Bitcoin would be at 140, $150,000 this time this year, and it is far from even cracking 80,000.
Wow.
Um, it's the unknowns that happen, and this is the underlying current because more institutions are investing in crypto. Um, Institutions invest for the long term. Retailers, which are us, we're kind of have short term horizons. I want to get in, get my profit, get out, and rinse and repeat. But when you have big institutions who can buy up 1.4, $3.4 billion in Bitcoin, and let's say you are a very savoir faire individual and you can afford 500,000 to $1 million in Bitcoin, 500,000 to $1 million in Bitcoin per day doesn't equate to the billions that institutions can invest. And so when you've got big institutions investing, it brings down and stabilizes the volatility that we see in the crypto market. That's what's been happening underneath the sheets in the crypto ecosphere. That as more institutions begin to get into crypto, the volatility begins to slow. So that's what you can expect as we go forward. The second thing is what we're waiting for, the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act will give us the all systems go. Once they're signed into law, you have the Genius Act and you have the Clarity Act, and you'll have not only legitimacy for institutions, but you'll also have a system of governance when it comes to cryptocurrency. Um, and when we get those two enacted together, that will be a blueprint for other nations that either have jumped on board with crypto and developed their own strategic Bitcoin reserve, or those that are considering it. They don't have the blueprint, and the United States is trying to write the blueprint for the rest of the world to say, this is how we ensure legitimacy in the crypto ecosphere, as well as how we ensure governance from a strategic level. The last thing is the rapid stablecoin growth. Rapid stablecoin growth. What a stablecoin is, what I said earlier, it is a crypto coin or token that is tied to the US dollar, tied to an algorithm, or tied to real world assets. And for simplicity, we'll say tied to the US dollar. And so when it comes down to that, being able to pay your bills with stable coins as opposed to US dollars, and it makes that transaction just like this. Just imagine the bank owes you a refund. What happens when the bank owes you a refund? 6 to 10 business days. You have an excuse now. You can get that to me the same day. And so the only thing that will hold it up is bureaucracy. But what are we doing? We're trying to weed out the bureaucracy so that we can have a more effective and efficient systems and methodologies in place to ensure the rapid exchange of remittance between institutions and from institutions to clients.
You know, Jason, I can imagine, even though you stated that the Bitcoin cryptocurrency came into existence 2008, I can imagine years before then in a room, people were talking about it and talking about how it would be regulated. Can you talk a little bit more about regulation? And, you know, it's such a big, when you talk about it, it's such a big thing in my mind, because you're talking about not only this country, but other countries, and, you know, how it's going to be dealt with, regulated laws, rules. I don't think this just happened, you know, in a little corner a few years ago. I think this must have been in existence in my mind for a while. What do you think?
So now we're going to get into crypto lore or Bitcoin lore. So the whole point of Bitcoin, and I'm just going to say it in simple terms, was it was a white paper, and it said the banks are screwing us over, and we're going to come up with a system to stick it to the man. In other words, we're going to have a decentralized financial system amongst the people to be able to manage goods and services and remittance amongst ourselves. Bitcoin was like financial Robin Hood. It was to give the power back to the people. Well, anytime government gets involved in anything to give it legitimacy, what happens to Robin Hood? Hey, Robin, come on over here. We got a 5x7 for you to kind of chill in while we kind of figure some things out. And so when you're talking about governance and bringing legitimacy to anything, I'll just say it. How can we get your tax dollars? How can we tax it? Okay, not to muddy the waters, but if you recall when different states were trying to legitimize cannabis, why were they doing that? They weren't doing it because they were like, oh, it actually isn't as bad as people say it is. Oh, no, no, no. How can we tax it? How can we get something from it? I remember back in the 80s, we were in Camelot, and Ronald Reagan, he instituted, I think, it's an excise tax on cigarettes.
Yes.
Before that, you go get cigarette out of machine, 25 cents, 75 cents, got up to $1, and then he imposed this tax to say we're going to legitimize cigarettes even more and make it $5 a pack. And what did he do? Folks that was trying to quit smoking stopped. So my whole point is that when it comes to crypto and trying to legitimize crypto, trying to bring policy to crypto, um, at the end of the day, the government needs a way to be able to live off of this new financial system. Now, what's happening with the government right now? What the U.S. Treasury just put out? It just put out that the U.S. government has reached a point where it's become insolvent. That means it's got more debt, 35 times more debt than it has assets against.
Wow.
You would think now would be a good time to switch over to crypto. Because how else are we going to pay? How else is the government going to pay for the services like Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, or just to keep the government open? If you keep running up a deficit with the current bureaucratic system, eventually cracks will start to show. And then you start hearing the R word or the D word, recession, depression. You don't want that. And so when it comes down to legitimizing a new system of finance at strategic level, it's about keeping nations in their sovereignty and keeping them in business.
Boy, that's a lot. Where would the average person kind of start? What would you advise, the average American to do from your perspective? What would you what do you think they should do in the sense of how they begin to invest or research or get more information about this cryptocurrency market?
So I'll tell you what I would do, and then I will give the politically correct way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Were it me, having listened to this dude just now, I would get on my tablet, my computer, my phone, and I would Google what is cryptocurrency. I would go on YouTube and I would say, hey, how to get involved in crypto, and that's the Jay Baker way. I wouldn't do the let me jump head 1st into it. I would do the let me find and do some information searching over the next several weeks and start listening to the news and start looking at the various feeds on the various platforms so that I can get a sense of what people are saying and I can make a decision on what's legitimate and what's a bunch of garbage. Because there is a lot of legitimate information out there about the direction of crypto, and there's a lot of garbage about how to get rich quick.
Yes.
If I were to say do this, that, and the other, individuals, and I'm just saying as someone who's a member of somebody else's audience, and I am a uninformed investor, I'm looking for the hookup. I'm looking for, hey, what I need to do to start making money because I need money today, not 5 years from now. I need it now. This is not that place. When you're talking about investing in your future, you need to have a very serious conversation with yourself and understand what you can afford to invest. And based on what you can afford to invest, what you can afford to lose. And if you can't afford to lose anything, hold what you got. Hold what you got.
Wow. I have a question. I was thinking about the younger generation, like my grandchildren, those ages. They seem to catch on to technology so fast. Are they going to be the ones that catch on quicker? Or the generation that is mature generation, do you think they are going to be the ones that won't be lost in the sauce?
Okay. So
Who do you think will catch it quicker?
yeah, there's a quote that says we grow weaker and wiser.
Ooh,
Yeah. And
yes.
so, whereas we needed brawn to be able to accomplish things, now we just need to be able to think and utilize resources in order to create opportunities for ourselves and our families. And so that's the way ahead for essentially everyone. Um, it may be a learning curve for uh, baby boomers and the Generation X and millennials, but because the newer generations are immersed in it, it's essentially secondhand nature. And so when you have exposure to the innovative tools that are essentially the norms of the day, then you're able to adapt, integrate whatever is essentially presented into society.
Wow. I tell you what, Mr. Jason Baker, we have really learned a lot. Thank you so much for being on. We look forward to you coming on again, just helping us to keep up with things and just kind of like getting our minds in a place where we can at least look into. Some people may still be afraid, they don't know what it is, but at least you're giving us a window to kind of look through to see, what our possibilities are, or how we can kind of like grip these things, the knowledge of cryptocurrency, and they can do, like you said, do their research
Yes.
and come up as this thing continues to move ahead.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being on. Bless you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for having me once again.
You're beautiful. Thank you, Jason. And thank you all for joining us. I'm going to give you all a few announcements. But if you all have any questions for Jason, I can get those questions to him. Or you can go to his page on Facebook, uh, Baker J, Baker J, and check out his Facebook page and inbox any questions that you may have. He's talking from his experience, his perspective, and his research. And so, if you all need to know a little bit more, he'll give you some answers. You can always inbox us here to get more answers and um, get more research from those that we have brought in to share this information. We are going to have a wonderful Friday, fun Friday. Of course, it's our women's issue, and we're still celebrating Women's International Month, our International Women's Month. We want you to continue to join us and celebrate that with us. We're going to talk about some of the history of women, things that they have done in science and in entertainment. So please join us on Friday for that show at 9:30. Also, we're going to continue with our men's issues. But we're going to also be on the track on our Wednesdays with men and money. Talking about money. This segment is cryptocurrency, money, and more. And Jason Baker is actually our co-host uh, with that particular segment. But on Wednesdays, we are kind of shift a little bit from men's issues to money, men and money issues, and we're going to talk about money and the fact that we may have more than we think, we may have less than we think, we may not be on board, on track with how to manage and steward money. We're just going to be talking about money a little bit more. Then we're going to also have Mr. Chris Hinton. He's going to talk about real estate and where it is now. People are still buying, people are still selling real estate, investing in real estate. And so we're going to be talking about that a little bit more, how you can become a first time buyer, things, assets and things, information out there to help you build your credit so you can buy a home. So we're going to be talking about that on our men's issues segment. Please join us on Wednesdays at 9:30. Of course, we have Monday Sports Talk, and we are covering the NBA. We're having a good time. We'll also highlight the WNBA as they go through their playoffs. It's always so exciting and interesting at that point. We do it every year. We get over to WNBA and we just check out some of the those that are making names for themselves, that are getting ready to cross over into professional ball. So watching our ladies play, it is a joy. Remember last season we had Caitlin and we had Angela Reese and them and many others that just brought a new height to the WNBA. It was just amazing. Talking about innovation and change, we see where people have enjoyed the WNBA women's basketball, but when we start seeing these young ladies, really stepping up and playing ball as never before, it brought a whole new audience to the WNBA. And so we're looking forward to covering it, the playoffs and things like that, and finding out, hey, who's making that mark? Who's going to the next level? And we look forward to that on our Monday Sports Talk. We are very excited about the segments that are coming up. Don't forget to follow us on social media. You all are doing so great. The numbers are going up on all our platforms. Please, if you will, if you're not following us on TikTok, please go to Yhinton, YHINTON, and follow us. We'll follow you back. Don't forget to go to our YouTube channel at FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton, or Crystal Records One, CRISTO Records One. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on those channels. Follow us on all our platforms: Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, of course, TikTok. Over there on Facebook, we have Facebook FYI, we got IFYI, we have Yolanda Hinton, we got Everette, we have Yolanda Hinton's fan page. Just follow us and we will definitely appreciate and follow you back. You can be a special guest, intern, or sponsor. We're looking for special guests to fill our slots. Again, men, if you're interested, if you're a money person, a person that actually knows to teach management, money management, or coming out of debt, or anything related to money that you are an expert in, we would love to have you on, and love for you to share with our audience. You can inbox me, or you can email FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. That's FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Please, 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 let us know, hey, I'd like to be a part of the show. I'd like to be on your panel, for panel discussions and things like that. But make sure you inbox us, email us, or either call 757-714-7861. Let us know, hey, I want to be a part of what you all are doing. I even want to sponsor. If you want to sponsor a segment, if you want to sponsor, the show, let us know that you want to get involved. Our interns actually help bring guests and bring topics and things like that. If you're interested in kind of helping us to, pull in different content, different than what we've been doing or what you've heard thus far on FYI Radio Show, please, please, please let us know. You want to get involved in that way. So thank you all for joining. We have so many folks. Maya, how you doing, Maya? Let's see who else is up here. I think it's Lionel, PJ. Oh wow, it's so many folks. Ron, good morning. Let's see. I cannot pronounce that one. Let's see. So many folk. I'm trying to get names. Tony, good morning. Patricia, good morning. Usher, 82. It's a lot of different numbers there. Let's see. Mary, thank you. Helen. Let's see. Who else is here? Charles, Alicia. So many folk. We got Outback. Anton, hi. Sherry, hello, good morning. So many folk up here. Jaquita, how are you? Let's see, Elaine, Scott. Looking like bad, I think it's Bad Habit. Just, oh wow, just so many folk. Chandler, Cynthia. Oh, so many people. Thank you so much. Beth, hi, how are you? Gladys, so many folk. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. I know my good friend, my buddy, pal, Sheila Robbins is on Facebook, and Mark, you may be there. A lot of folk. Make sure you say something to chat so I can give you a heart, honey. I can say hello to you all. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. I hope you all got a chance to hear it well. If you didn't, you can always come over to Facebook. If you're on TikTok and you didn't hear it all, you can always go back to our content on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter and get the show on today and hear it in its, in its entirety and hear it with more clarity. If you didn't get a chance to hear it, as well as you wanted to. But we are going to see you on Friday, our Fun Friday show. Don't forget, we are highlighting our International Women's Month. And we hope you all have enjoyed our show, our content. Mr. E had to slip out. He's got some very important things he had to do. But we welcome him. We thank him for coming on. He's going to join us on Fun Friday. And we're just going to be glad to see you, to be able to just bring you more information and more content from FYI Radio Show. So look, take care. See you soon. And have a blessed and wonderful day. TikTok, we're going to see you later, okay? God bless you. All right. And here we go. Let's see. All right, we're going to see Facebook on Friday. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right. See you all soon.